Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Childs. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Parman and Easterday in Oklahoma City. We're an elder law firm, and we specialize in assisting the elderly and people with disabilities. With me today, we have a very special guest, Amy Padilla, which is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Oklahoma chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. So, Amy, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Jerry.
It's a great opportunity to get together, and today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is Alzheimer's and dementia and the impact it has on individuals, on their family members, and on the community in many senses. Amy, I've been reviewing some of the information that your organization has put out, and it's very distressing. I noticed here that 5.4 million people today suffer from Alzheimer's, and that's projected to grow to 15 or 16 million by 2050 at a cost of $1 trillion. So it's a major, major effect. It's the sixth leading cause of death, and it's the only one that does not have a known cure. So that's very frightening to people when they're diagnosed with it because they don't know what to do. And part of what we're going to talk about today is prevention. Another statistic that leaped out at me is 60% of family caregivers predecease the people they're caring for because of the stress of that 24/7 care. And just in Oklahoma, we know the number of Alzheimer's patients is going to double over the next 10 years. So I know you've had a lot of experiences with people suffering from Alzheimer's. Can you give me an example of what that's like?
Sure. We have families who come into the association every day who are in distress because their loved one was just diagnosed, or maybe they were diagnosed 5 years ago and they are just now wanting to get help and they know they can't do it alone. It is a very tough disease to deal with, and we have a lot of support that we can offer, but a lot of people don't know that we exist, which is really sad. Because this is not a disease that they have to go through alone. This is not a journey that they have to travel alone. Although it is because of the stress that families go through and losing their loved ones, not just once, to the disease, but also later on in life when the disease gets the best of them. So it is really hard, and it's a sad disease.
Can you give me an example of somebody you've worked with?
Yes, we have a volunteer. His name is Ron Grant. He's a wonderful man. He was diagnosed at the age of 55 with Alzheimer's disease, and I think he's now 62. Mm-hmm. And he's a very rare case for us because he has been able to be a voice in the fight against Alzheimer's. A lot of people aren't because, maybe they've been diagnosed too late, or maybe, they didn't notice the signs or the symptoms, which a lot of people don't. They don't know the difference between normal aging and Alzheimer's. Right. Well, Ron noticed that change in himself, and he was able to get that diagnosis early, which is, once again, very rare. So he has been just a wonderful, wonderful volunteer for us in so many ways, not only on a local level, but a national level.
Absolutely.
So he's been someone who we can rely on to help us, raise awareness about this disease.
Well, as we've talked before, my father-in-law had Alzheimer's. He lived with us for the last 11 of his 12 years. The last year was in a nursing home, and it took us a while to identify the fact that he in fact had the disease, and then to come to grips with the deterioration that we saw in his mental capacity and his physical abilities and so forth. So it's a very debilitating disease. Can you give me an overview of what the Alzheimer's Association mission is?
Sure. The mission of the Alzheimer's Association is to eliminate the disease through research. We do fund research on a national level. We also do provide education and support to caregivers and a variety of healthcare professionals. And then we also do promote brain health to the community because a lot of people who, especially if it runs in their family, are fearful of developing the disease later on. Or just in general, we want to promote just good health, which is good brain health, because anything you do that's healthy for your heart is good for your brain. So we do try to promote that through the awareness of Alzheimer's.
Okay. And I notice you offer 3 events a year. Is that correct?
We do. We offer our gala, and we offer a Walk to End Alzheimer's and our education conference. All 3 events are, they target different audiences, whether it's for funding purposes or for outreach and awareness, and then also for education.
Okay. And you also have a support group, is that correct?
We do. We have support groups that we offer all over Oklahoma City and also in rural areas, which are lifesavers for people who are dealing with this disease. Because I think the best type of support that one can really get is from someone who's also dealing with the things that they're going through as a caregiver.
I just had a client come in on Monday whose husband was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 3 years ago, and she went to the group, and then she came to us because of a referral from that group. And she had nothing but praise to say about that. This upcoming event, when is that going to be?
That is going to be on November the 6th. It's our education conference. We have it every year, and we're going to have it at the Reed Center in Midwest City. And it is from 8:30 to 4:30. And we're really excited about the event this year because we have a great lineup of speakers and sessions, and it's all to offer education to caregivers and healthcare professionals. We have a variety of different sessions. We have one that's going to talk about the importance of clinical trials and finding a cure for the disease. We have a session that's going to be talking about the different behaviors of someone with dementia and how to deal with those behaviors when they arise. Learning how to communicate with someone who has dementia, which is very difficult for caregivers. Right. And then also we are going to offer a dementia simulation tour, which is basically a hands-on a tour of how a person lives with dementia, seeing dementia through the eyes of the person who actually has the disease, which is something we haven't offered before, and it's really, I think it's very humbling to caregivers as well. I've gone through the dementia tour, and it was very emotionally hard because you don't realize how scary it is for not only the caregiver, but for the person who actually has the disease. So we are having that dementia simulation tour. And then we are also offering 3 hours of ethics credits for a variety of healthcare professionals, which the sessions that are for them are going to be Oklahoma mental health laws, and then also patient advocacy as well. And we are also very honored to have Jacqueline Marcel, who is the author of this book, Elder Rage. She is going to be our keynote speaker in the morning, and she is an experienced caregiver who has gone through basically everything that you could think of when it comes to caring for aging parents, and then also a father with Alzheimer's disease. So we are really excited to have her. She's going to really start off the day and really just start it off on a positive note, which is what we're really wanting.
Fantastic. And how does someone make reservations to attend the event?
They can go to alz.org/Oklahoma, and they can register online there as a caregiver or a healthcare professional. And then also you could call our office at 405-319-0780.
Okay, what was the number again?
405-319-0780.
Fabulous. Well, we're honored for the second year in a row to be able to offer continuing education to professional advisors, because professional advisors play a key role, and they need to understand the issues that these families are confronting. We offer training that is good for continuing education credit for attorneys, insurance agents, chartered financial planners, CPAs, certified life underwriters. Everybody under the sun can come, and it's $65. It's 4 hours of education, and we're in the morning from 8 to noon approximately. And I would encourage you again to go to alz.org/Oklahoma and make arrangements to come to the event, because I think the type of training you're going to receive is just outstanding. One of the issues we encounter a lot is people that have dementia or Alzheimer's haven't planned ahead. They don't have their estate planning documents or powers of attorney. Nothing is in place. And then when they're confronted with this disease, the family is unable to step in and take the actions that need to be taken. And many times the financial professionals that are advising them don't realize there's a need to do this early on. So we're hoping to educate the financial professionals about this as well. And again, when is the event?
It is November 6th at the Reed Center in Midwest City.
Okay. Amy, thank you so much for joining us today. I think this is a wonderful opportunity to reach out to the public and provide them with much needed information. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jerry.